I like to have my birthday celebration and invite my closest friends to Key Mexico once a year, and then try to have Shay, my buddy, play. And so we were there, but it happened to be the same day as Taco Wars.
Yeah.
And then it was just chaos because it was great weather. And Shay had a whole group of people coming. And so I just left. I was like, man, Rodrigo.
It was
a lot of work.
Yeah, it was just a little confusing because I think there were two parties, like two reservations, but it was the same party.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was, I mean, anyway.
Yeah. It's a long day.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We made it through, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, we talk about food a lot on the podcast.
Yes,
we love food.
I like that theme. I like that topic.
What's funny is a lot of times I go to other restaurants and I see you and your crew there eating, like at Fat Calf or Zoozle or wherever, you know? And so, we have some great restaurants here. We had Blake Jackson on last season.
I was there yesterday.
Pretty good. And he had great things to say about you. And you know, whenever we start talking about local restaurants that we love to go to, that we appreciate the food and the environment and the hustle, Key Mexico always comes up in the conversation. So we're glad to have you on, and just want to hear your story and talk about business. That's really our podcast, is to talk about local businesses and highlight them and how they help the community.
Well, it's been a good trip, you know. We arrived at the States 24 years ago or something like that.
From Mexico City?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was my parents and my brother, and then it was me. I finished one of the last semester in college in Mexico, and then I moved here to finish college. That was the idea, and then go back to Mexico. But I guess we just stayed.
Where did you go to college?
LSUS.
Okay.
Yeah. I finished there. I went for PR and marketing, which, you know, after I graduated, I tried to get into that field, like advertising, all that stuff. But for some reason or other, it never happened. But you know, by the time since we arrived to the States, I started working at my family's restaurant, Taco Mania. I
had no clue that was your family's restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a great.
Now it's a Starbucks.
Yeah, sadly. I mean, you know, they're retired.
It was time.
Yeah, it was time. I hate we lost it, you know, because I think that they had the best Tex-Mex restaurant in town.
Yeah.
We loved everything about it, and well, you know, it was time, like you said.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, from day one I started working there, and for 10 years probably I hated restaurants.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm never gonna have a restaurant in my life. But you know, I guess the papers turn around, and I started liking it more. And you know, from Taco Mania, I jumped into the original Wine Country, and later I did Superior for 3 years. But in 2010, talking to my mom, she wanted to do something for herself or for ourselves as family, and she's like, I want to start selling my salsas. She's of course great at them. We still have them on the menu with the Guacamole Show. Those are the 4 salsas.
So that's your mom's recipe?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Those are the...
the guac show. We should have told you had to show up with that.
Hey, sorry. I'll bring it next time. But yeah, those salsas are what started it all. She's like, hey, I want to sell those my salsas. And I told her about the farmer's market. At the time, I think it was the perfect place to start, at least with salsas, you know. So we signed up.
Was that at Bossier, Shreveport?
Shreveport. I don't think there was a Bossier one yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but we took 12 of each of the 4 salsas we have now. We sold out in an hour. We couldn't leave the market until noon, so we didn't know what to do. So for the next one, we brought double, still sold out, and so on. We did pretty good. And, I was like, oh, perfect. We're going to have a salsa company and then it should be easy, right? Mm-hmm. But we decided to jump into preparing food at the farmer's market, and we started doing breakfast tacos. Since we have so much time to kill, we were like, why not? Yeah. So from the farmer's market, we shaped most of our menu. We got our staple tacos from there. We started it there. We started with the cochinita, the pork, of course, the chicken poblano, which is the crack of the tacos. Everybody loves it. And then the biste. Some of them, like the biste, were like a impromptu dish because we ran out of eggs because we were doing breakfast tacos first. And then my mom was like, well, we have these ingredients. I'll be right back. She ran to the store, came back, brought some steaks from the Mexican store. We grilled them, chopped them, and that's how the bistec was born.
There you go. Cool.
Yeah, so in general terms, the farmer's market was our platform, our trampoline for success. We did it for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Little by little.
Built up a following.
Yeah, and at the beginning it was tough because nobody was used to what we were offering, There was no cochinita in town or any of our tacos where you couldn't find them anywhere. So the first...
And when you say, let's dig into that a little bit, that's just like an authentic taco, right? Just, it's not Tex-Mex.
Yeah, right now, I always called our food eclectic because we use, some of the traditional tacos or dishes, but also new ideas where my brother was the one that brought the more original stuff. Yeah. The ideas that, again, you cannot find anywhere else.
I love looking at the specials. So whenever it's like the special for the week, me and my wife are like, look.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He's a master on that. But at the market, the first year or the first season, I guess, when we introduced the tacos, it was tough because people were used to the other kinds of tacos, which of course there's nothing wrong with them. It's just different. But little by little, with customers and now friends, they spread the word around, and in the second year was better, and so on. The fifth year we had like a 30-minute line waiting for tacos, and we always sell out. And then we started doing the Great Raft Brewery. That was another big jump on our popularity, I guess.
Was it like a food truck type thing there? Or
we call it pop-up kitchen.
Okay.
Because we never had a food truck. We set up tables. It was funny because at the beginning we used those electric pancake griddles.
Yeah.
It would take forever. And then if the weather was windy or cold or wet, oh my God, it would just take forever for the tacos to be done. Yeah. And we would trip the breakers. It was like a very weird learning experience. Yeah. But, at the end of the day, it was enjoyable because everybody wanted our food. Yeah. During those 5 years, we saved money to see what we could do after a while. And suddenly, on the fifth year, we were like, okay, I think we could do something. It wasn't much, but we were gonna try. My parents had a little apartment in Mexico City, which got sold, and that was an extra, income for the start of the restaurant. We looked around different buildings, even downtown and Line Avenue, across the street from us where El Chico was, and Onos was there, Pepinos was there. But it was just too big for us, and our budget was like this much. But it was great to go to that place to check it out, because then suddenly across the street we saw that empty building where we are right now. And we're like, oh, but there was not like a for rent sign or something. So we looked at it. It was like, oh, this kind of looks perfect, perfect size. Yeah. So we inquired about it, and of course, our landlord was like, yeah, it's available. We're like, oh, cool. So the next day we went to see it, and it just hit right. It was like, okay.
What was that building before? Do you know?
So there was a Tex-Mex restaurant called Martinez, but I don't think it lasted that long.
Okay. So it was already set up for a restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before that was a burger place, and it has been a few different places through the years. But we looked at it and I was like, yeah, I think this is it. Perfect.
I took my real estate exam right next door.
Yeah.
Is it still there?
PSI.
Yeah.
that's our warehouse, and we should call it PSI.
Okay. Oh, you still call it that?
Yeah, but now that's our
That place was so stressful. I was like, yeah, that place is stressful. Of course, the Johnny's at the end.
Yeah,
that's iconic neighborhood pizza place. I mean, we all grew up going to that Johnny's.
It's been there forever, and probably is going to stay there forever.
Yeah.
Is Taco Mania going on during this whole time? When does Taco Mania start?
They started in 2000, I think, or 99, 98.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, but they started with where El Compadre is right now. Mm-hmm. That was the first building, and then they moved to where the Starbucks is now, and then that was over. For a second, we thought about taking over because we didn't want to lose that that staple, but at the time we couldn't do it. We're just like, sorry.
So y'all, one thing is funny. You talk about the customer base you built up at the farmer's market, and I wasn't going to the farmer's market, so I didn't even know you guys existed, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's just like all of a sudden I start seeing Key Mexico stuff everywhere. And I'm like, where did this come from? And you kind of like took over, because when y'all did open up, the hype was so big. Mm-hmm. And y'all, one thing that's great is, you have very creative food, but then you have a lot of creativity because you are always having live music, right? But then even your marketing was just kind of something I had never seen in this market, right? It's kind of like taking, I don't know what you would say, like Mexican traditional stuff and then making it look like cool. Modern and cool. Yeah. So who was kind of behind that?
Well, that's me for the most part, because, I went to school for that. Mm-hmm. And I guess I was just releasing my ideas through the restaurant. Yeah. The designs, the t-shirts. Of course, I have great people behind that, the designs. And, I've always liked to market stuff, I guess, or to advertise stuff. So whenever, of course, social media appeared, I was like, okay, this is a cool platform. And little by little, we've been evolving and getting better at it. But that was my way to put my frustrated work of marketing into the restaurant, which is working great. I love it.
Oh yeah.
And one of the main ideas we had for the restaurant from the beginning was to always have people feel really welcomed, like if they were at our house. So in our house, of course, there's good food, but also there's good music. So everything was, kind of planned, but it was mostly like I want them to feel welcomed and like if they were at my house or my mom's house, Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So when we started the construction, it was fine at the beginning, and then the contractor took off, left us kind of hanging. I quit Superior, so I started working myself with friends and my wife and the family, of course, painting and finishing it up. The tables is a funny story. We ordered some tables from California. They were supposed to be recycled from pallet wood and all that stuff. In pictures and videos, it looked amazing. So we would jump on those and order the tables for the restaurant. When we got them, they were like a mess, like no legs. They were not even sanded. It was just crazy. But we had to open, like it was probably 1 or 2 weeks prior to the date that we wanted to open. So we were like, oh, what are we going to do? And I think I saw on Facebook or something like the idea of the spools, the cable spools. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, let's try that temporarily, let's find spools anywhere in the city, and we just bring them up, sand them, and seal them. and we still have the spools. It just feel perfect, the vibe and everything. So I have a friend that was working in an electrical company. He's like, I have all these. I was like, perfect, bro. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. So those are, they were not on the plan, but they work out perfectly. When we opened, it was automatic success, I guess. That prior week, we were like drained. We didn't have any more money. Luckily, my dad's friend let us borrow a few $1,000s to order the food and get ready. So it felt, probably has been one of the best feelings for me when we opened, the first week we opened, because it was just like busy. It was supposed to be a soft opening, but it was just crazy. Of course, because we needed to adjust things in the kitchen, how to order, many things. But people were like so excited and hyped about it that it was just like instant success.
Was there a little bit of a learning curve, because most of what we know growing up is Tex-Mex, like you mentioned, right? It's 2-for-1 margaritas, all you can eat chips and salsa. When I was in high school, we would just go to Posadas, eat chips and salsa and drink water, for free.
Taco Mania was kind of the same too. I had a few.
And so I would imagine people would show up expecting one thing and getting a different thing,
Yeah. But, when we built the clientele during the farmers market years, that was a good start, a great start, and little by little, people were getting used to our food, and still, new faces show at the restaurant with the idea of Tex-Mex or fajitas or tacos, crunchy tacos or whatever. And then we hit them with our menu and like, oh, what is this? Probably 98% of the people that new people that go into the restaurant get converted into Key Mexico, and there's that 2% like, oh, I guess we're leaving. But you win some, you lose some. And as long as we win the most, it's fine. And then from there they just keep coming back. It's it never gets old to feel that. To feel that how we tell people this is our food, and they give it a chance, and they love it. So it's always, it feels like it's the first time ever.
Well, I haven't checked recently, but I know for a time, I mean, y'all are by far the highest rated restaurant in town,
Yeah.
And so,
I think it's superior to Sul, and us, of course, but it feels great.
My first experience, y'all had maybe been open, it was probably in your first year, and someone invited me. It was a business lunch, and I didn't get to pick the place, and they said Key Mexico, but I'm a lifelong dieter. I'm always on a diet, trying to eat healthy. And so they were like, yeah, let's go to Key Mexico. I'm like, man, there's no way I can stay on this diet. So I go, and on your lunch menu, you had like a salmon salad. And so I get the salmon salad, and I just wasn't very, I'm a big boy. I was like, that wasn't enough, So for like the next 2 years, I didn't even go back, until I was invited to another party. And I was like, man, there's like so much, you can just tell, like, there's just so much thought put into the food and the flavors, right? So like if me and my wife go to Dallas or go somewhere else, and they have this like kind of combination of flavors that blend well together, you wouldn't think blend together. I use it as, hey, this is like Key Mexico, right? Hey, this is on their level, Key Mexico, even if it's not even Mexican food, right? It's just that's how I describe what y'all do with what you put out.
Yeah, like I said, it never gets old, and especially when people like, I'm from California, I've been all over the world, and nothing compares to your food. And it's so good. Or open one in California, open one in New York. I wish I could do that. Like, ding, let's do it.
Well, I remember texting one time, I was at Austin. I found the highest rated authentic Mexican place in Austin. And we go and we have brunch, and it's just packed, hard to get in, and we're eating it. And I was just looking at my wife. I'm like, it doesn't even compare to Key Mexico. It's like not even close.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
I don't know. I think our secret and our passion, I guess, has always been towards the food rather than the business of it, you know.
Yep.
We have never been, you know, like cut off corners just to make it cheaper. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it right.
Yeah.
And of course, it would sell by itself.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the flavors, the consistency. And
it's hard as a business owner, right?
Yeah.
Because you can see where, hey, we can make another 5% profit if we order this food instead of this food.
Yeah.
Right.
It is. But, you know, we're just like, no, let's just go with our guts and just do it right.
We talk about a lot. Josh, a couple of months ago, brought up this quote from Warren Buffett. He said, a business owner said, as long as you're focusing on delighting the customer, everything else is going to take care of itself. Right. And that's kind of like that. But it is hard to do, especially when you get really big and you scale and you have, if you did start a restaurant in New York, right? I mean, you would be, it'd be kind of hard to maintain that. So,
no, yeah. And it's not easy to start a second or a third restaurant, you know, because we didn't follow the same pattern, I guess. We didn't start it small. We started right in a restaurant, like right now in Longview with Key Mexico East Texas and the pizzeria San Laurent. It's like basically start from zero, almost from zero. We have, you know, certain followers, but not as much as we need to start like the way we started Key Mexico a few years ago, 10 years ago.
So how's that going in Longview?
Great. Yeah, little by little. Again, it wasn't like...
And it's kind of attached. It's like a smaller thing, right?
This is more like a kitchen inside the bar. Okay. But I think we picked the right second step to
what is the bar?
To expand. The name is Greenside Beer and Beverage.
Okay.
We are right downtown in the corner of Tyler Street and Green Street.
Okay.
So they sell... they have natural wine from all over the world, including California and Mexico even. They have craft beer and a couple other things. But it was funny that we partnered because they used to come to Shreveport, or they come to Shreveport and eat at the restaurant at Key Mexico. And then they were telling us about their bar. So we went over there and tried it, and it was like great. And then, you know, I came up with the idea, hey, why don't we do a pop-up here at your place? And so we did, and it turned out good. And we kept doing it for a few months. And it was like, oh, perfect. And then they pitched us the idea, hey, why don't you open a kitchen here? And I think, you know, me and my family were always, you know, we're already talking about what else to do. So we're like, okay, I think this would be the perfect next step.
Cool.
Small, but, you know, in a cool place. And it's the building is great. It has kind of the same vibes as Key. And it's progressing.
Cool.
It's doing good.
One of the things I like about what you guys do is you shut down the restaurant to go on vacation.
Oh yeah.
You don't even like try to like go and have peace and let it still stay open. You just shut it down.
Yeah, I think it works, you know?
Yeah.
You actually relax.
Yeah. Well, and it also goes back to what your model is, right? If it's not going to be the best product without you there, it's not about the revenue.
Yeah. And, you know, lately, when we do it again, we could probably keep it open since we have a great staff right now that we can trust.
Yeah.
So I think we would keep it open. Maybe not. Maybe just turn it off just so they can have a break too.
Yeah.
But it feels good, you know, especially having like family vacation where we go with my parents and of course my daughters and my brother, everybody else. We usually go to Mexico and just relax and have a good time. And then we just come back and still the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we are fresh, clear of our minds with inspiration.
Yeah.
And ready to serve those tacos again or whatever we serve.
We a couple years ago, you did a mezcal tasting.
Yeah.
And I'm just to be honest, didn't even know what mezcal was. I thought it was a dish, so I was like, okay, we have to try new food. And then somebody invited us, like, yeah, sign us up. We got tickets, and then we get closer to time, and we realized it was the night or the evening before school started for our kids.
Oh, oops.
So we get there, and you get the mic. You're like, yeah, we're going to do 4 flights of 4 servings. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not good.
I remember it rained, but it set the mood. Rain set the mood. It was cool.
Yeah,
I need to do that again.
Yeah, that was cool because you had gone to Mexico and kind of sourced all of it yourself.
Yeah. We the week before we went to Oaxaca, where that was our brother's trip every year. So we brought a bunch of ingredients from there and my brother did a great dinner, and I just curated all the mezcal choices.
How was how was the navigating through the pandemic?
Well, the pandemic, it put a big footprint or it made a big change on us for the good. It was crazy. We never lost money. We never let anybody go. We actually made more money. We switched to servers, that was a great.
Because before that, you would walk up to the counter, and you would order,
and the bar
at the bar,
just drinks there at the bar and tacos at the counter.
Yes,
and it was messy, yes, but with the pandemic, because we had to keep the tables at distance, we switched to servers, and our sales went up because it's more comfortable for customers to, of course, keep ordering rather than I don't want to get up again. So that was a big change for us. I remember Cinco de Mayo, we were doing just to-go orders, like curbside. And during the pandemic, we stopped everybody because we were so busy with the curbside. I think a little bit of the marketing too was part of it. Like, hey, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that. And everybody was working. We all were working, so it was a great. I mean, it wasn't that a great time, but it was a great time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think that's just because we talked to Bo about it too at Bo Jackson. You're hit with something you can't control, and then it's the ones that rise to the top are creative and quick to move and do what it takes. Yeah.
Then we set up the temporary patio outside with the tent, and that was another great move
because that stayed. Now it's permanent.
Yeah. We actually switched to a patio because the fire marshal came. Was like, "Hey, you're not supposed to have this. It's been 3 years." I was like, oops. But then we looked into building a real patio.
Yeah.
And it could be done. So we were like, okay, let's do it. And now we have a beautiful patio.
It's awesome. Yeah, I love it. That's when the weather's great. You have good music. It's the best.
Yeah, but in general terms, the pandemic helped us a lot to keep moving forward. Yeah, it was crazy.
What Josh, what are your favorite things to order at Key Mexico?
The queso, I love.
Yeah, the quesabrosa.
Yeah,
you can't call it queso.
Well,
the real name,
Yeah,
I mean, technically it's queso in Spanish.
yeah. That's so good. And then the cochinita.
That's my favorite. I'm always debating which one is my favorite, if that or the lamb barbacoa tacos. You can only get those during brunch on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of what I get because I get it every time, but it's the last one on the menu, the last taco on the menu.
Gringa?
The gringa.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Got to get it hot.
That's
in that grilled cheese.
The grilled cheese one. Yeah. That one's really good. That one's really good.
Yeah. And then the Mexican rice with the fried egg on top.
Oh yeah, that's I love that dish. It's just like it always reminds us of our time in Mexico. That was
so good.
Always like a staple. Every time my mom would cook rice at home, which was 2-3 times a week. Always a fried egg, avocado, salsa. It's just perfect.
Where are your favorite places to go in Mexico to get the inspiration for what you do now?
Always Mexico City. It's it never gets old. It's always trending. we always find new stuff with that we get inspired. But we also love Oaxaca. Again, that was our brother's trip. We used to do it like every year, but then we suddenly got busier, and it's been a little harder to go there. But my wife is from Mazatlan on the west coast of Mexico. I love to go there. I get inspired there with ceviches and carne asada tacos and other stuff. The good part is Mexico is very diverse in the cuisine. So each state has its own stuff. So usually anywhere you go in Mexico, and also mostly my brother, because he's the one that comes up with most of the specials and everything. Every time he goes to Mexico, he comes back and starts like cooking something that inspired him over there. So the whole country is very inspirational. Yeah. I love the Baja, the also ceviches and super fresh food, because they have a lot of little farms that they use local stuff.
Yeah. Is it hard to get those ingredients here? How do you?
Well, some of them are like, I would love to get Pacific shrimp, and you can get it, but that is really, really expensive. Like, a taco would be $15.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's impossible to have it in the restaurant. But luckily, other ingredients like epazote, the herb that we use for the rice and the beans and other stuff, we can get it from Dallas, or most of the ingredients we can get them. There's just a few that it's hard or expensive to bring them here.
This is it's such a good story, because Shreveport Bossier, there's no shortage of Mexican restaurants, right? Like everywhere you look, it seems like there's a new one coming in, and it's like on Airline Drive, I don't know, it has 15 of them now. But your decision to be a little different, right? To be unique, and how in a town that I think is, I don't know, you may say there's not enough Mexican restaurants. I don't know. It seems like there's so many. It's like, how do we just keep building Mexican restaurants? So there's an appetite for Mexican food clearly here. Yeah. But your decision to be unique and for people to find you with all the competitors that are out there.
Yeah.
It's such a cool story.
Yeah. It's always, again, I always feel very proud of what we do and what we offer, because now it's mostly probably word of mouth that people come to us, or they see it on social media, or somebody recommends it, or it's funny when you said the top rated restaurants in Shreveport. When we started, and you would Google Key Mexico, it would be like, it would come like almost down the list. Now, or not Key Mexico, but like best Mexican food or best restaurant in Shreveport. Now we are on the top. Yeah. So it's always like, yes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But it takes time for sure.
Yeah.
Around 10 years or so.
Have you seen their burgers they do?
No.
Tuesdays?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's
I still haven't had one, but the pictures, I'm just never there on Tuesdays, Yeah. I'm in North Bossier.
Yeah, those specials, sometimes we do ramen on Tuesdays, and also burgers, and then birria on Thursdays, and then they are more elaborated special on the weekend. Those came out because on Tuesday, suddenly it started to be our slow day. But we want to be different. We wanted to put like 2-for-1 enchiladas or something like that. So I was playing with ramen, trying to cook it for me. And then I was like, oh, this is good. I'm just going to make 15 bowls on Tuesday. Let's see what happens. And I put it, and instant sellout again. So nowadays, when I do ramen, I do between 50 and 75 portions for Tuesday.
Yeah, you buy a ticket almost.
Yeah.
To get it, yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I have to do it that way, because if everybody would come at the same time, it would take me forever. So, but I guess people are getting used to it. Sometimes they still get mad about the process, but I cannot do it the other way.
Yeah.
But anyway, and now Wednesday switched to be our slowest day. And then we were like, hey, why don't we do the burger? That because my brother, he's been doing a couple of burgers here and there as a special when we were in the truck in the brewery or the farmer's market. So we're like, okay, let's try it. And then boom, again. And Thursday, my mom came up with the birria, which, I mean, not because it's my mom and because she makes it, but I think we have the best birria because all the ingredients, of course, but we use goat and beef, and it gives it like the super punch of flavor that it's so good. We sell out also every Thursday for the most part. Same on Wednesday. So those weekly specials came out as, as a need, I guess, to bring more people, but still be different.
Yeah. Y'all were at one point sourcing local meats, or y'all still do?
Whenever we can, and as much as we can, we do. Like our pork for the cochinita, it's from Mojave Farms.
We need to have those guys on.
Yes, big fan of Mojave.
Yeah. The chickens for the salad and for the sandwich that we have, they're from Mojave Farms too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The eggs, they're from different farms because we use a lot of eggs, so we don't buy at the store anymore. We just get them from all the farms because we need them. And everybody comes to us like, you want eggs? Sure, let's get them.
They're probably cheaper.
They're but they're so much better.
Oh, yeah.
So much tastier.
Oh, yeah.
And then the goat, no, sorry, not the goat. The lamb is from a local farm. The Wagyu beef for the burger is from Center, Texas. And Cushara, they have 2 farms there. So, anytime. And the greens for the lettuce now, for our salads, I'm sorry, they're local now. So little by little, we're switching to whatever we can substitute to a local product. The mushrooms for the quesadilla, the mushroom quesadilla, they're local. So
it's awesome.
Besides, of course, tasting great, it feels really good to source them in town or close by. Yeah. So whenever we can, again, we'll do.
Do you still eat Tex-Mex ever?
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite Tex-Mex in town?
Like I said, I used to love Taco Mania. I go to Superior sometimes, but also El Eden, EDEN.
Okay.
On Shreveport, Barksdale.
Okay.
Well, they have actually real Mexican stuff and Tex-Mex. So yeah, I like to go there too.
I've never heard of it. I had to try it out.
El Eden.
El Eden. Yeah. Okay. What about other restaurants? If you're going to go out on a date night or you taking the night off and going out somewhere, where do you like to go?
Fat Calf, of course.
Oh yeah.
Zuzul. Of course, I love to go to San Loran Pizza, which is part of us too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
so you are a part of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
With 2 friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle? Is Kyle part of that?
Yeah. Kyle and Caleb Harkins.
Okay. I've heard things. That's the old Pizza Rev or whatever. It's been a few things right by Superior.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Good. Yeah. Again, it started kind of slow, but it's picking up.
Cool.
Picking up.
Awesome.
What's the idea behind the pizza? Like, you're going to do something different, right? You do something unique, or?
Well, yeah. The lunch part of it is slices, mostly slices. You can order whole pies too if you want to. It's a New York style pizza, so the crust is very thin, it's crunchy. Again, not because it's I'm part of it, but I think they have the best pizza in town. We have the best pizza in town. Some of the pizzas are like super simple, but the ingredients, again, high quality and super top-notch taste. I didn't care for pizza before I met these guys, and they showed me their pizza. I was like, oh, yeah, this is so good. Also, nighttime, we do handmade pasta. Again, very simple, but super tasty. The pasta uses only water and flour, nothing else, and salt. But it turns out like, wow, super top notch. My favorite is the red wine pasta. It's just red wine, garlic, and butter, or red wine reduction. Super, super tasty.
So now I'm starting to get hungry.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. Let's go have lunch. Yeah, but we again try to bring a different concept into town. The vibes are really cool. Lunchtime is very casual, but at nighttime we dim the lights and turn up the music. We're all doing open mic on Tuesdays, so we're inviting everybody to come and play music or poetry or comedy.
Josh, you want to do a little stand-up?
I'll
do.
Duo.
Okay. There you go. Hey.
Tag team.
Tag team.
Anything works. Yeah, so...
That's cool.
Yeah. But those are the places I like to go.
Yeah.
Sushi Kin.
Okay.
They have good stuff. Really good sushi.
Yeah.
Again, Eliten. I like to go on Mondays. Sundays are my Saturdays, and sometimes I like to party a little more or have a few more drinks than usual.
Yeah.
So the next on Monday feels good to go there.
I can never make it to brunch, but I hear good things. It's a pretty packed place at Key Mexico, Sunday brunch.
Yeah, we add 3 different items to the brunch menu. To the regular menu. The lamb barbacoa tacos, the molletes, which is a sliced bread with cheese, black beans, fried egg. Super hearty and perfect brunch item. And then the sopes, which is the 3 kind of like thick tortillas. And we have one with potato and chorizo, tinga, which is the shredded chicken, and then nopales. But
and it's 10 to 2 every Sunday?
3.
10 to 3?
10:30 to 3.
10:30 to 3.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's also live music, mimosas 2 for 1, micheladas for the hangover, which is kind of like a Bloody Mary with beer.
Okay.
We have Bloody Marys too. Yeah, so it feels so good to go to brunch on a Sunday. Sometimes when I'm off, I go myself.
Yeah.
It's walking distance from my house, so we usually do the bike, or if it's too hot, we just drive there. But it just like feels good to have brunch on the patio over there or inside.
Yeah, love it.
We're gonna need an episode at Key Mexico.
Yeah, we can do that.
Film one at the restaurant.
Yeah, we're doing some on the scene episodes coming up. So
sweet.
Yeah, so we're gonna check out the Bossier Farmers Market in a couple weeks.
Oh wow!
Cool. Yeah, bring a cameraman and do that. So we had Chris Graham on here not too long ago, and
that's awesome.
Great job. Yeah,
that's awesome. So cool.
Yeah.
Yes, let us know.
Cool. Well,
this is great.
Anything else? Yeah, man. Look, I've never, there's a few restaurants that I can say I've never been and had a bad experience, or that the consistency wasn't good or whatever. And there are a few that you named earlier that made that list, and Key Mexico is one of them, right? I always say I have about 3 or 4 restaurants on our rotation, and Key Mexico is always on there. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, for me, it's just want to thank you for, making this city better, being passionate about what you do, creating something unique so that we have an alternative. I mean, look, I love Tex-Mex, I love all Mexican food, really.
Yeah.
But to have something that is different and unique, fueled by your passion and the creativity, I think it makes Shreveport even a little better, right? So yeah, thank you for doing that.
Thank you. And it's funny that you're a leader in the community, or people follow your steps or something like that. For me, I mean, of course it feels amazing, but I never thought about that, like getting to that point, but it feels like good. And it's, for me, it's funny that people now text me or call me like, hey, I want to start my business or my restaurant. Yeah. What do I do?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I think that, when, if we have the right mindset as business owners and leaders, when a competitor comes in and raises the bar, it makes us all better. Yeah. Right. And so for you to come in and have this really high standard of quality, then everybody else is like, okay, well, we got to compete with them. We got to raise the bar too. So it does make us all better. Right?
Hey, that's a great point.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I've never seen it like that, but it's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah. And for us is, stay always moving forward, like change with, I guess, with the society, be up to date, bring fresh flavors or new takes on whatever. Besides being still, on the top choices of people, for us it's fun. Like, hey, why don't we do Asian flair on our dishes now? Why don't we put this or that, or why don't we bring this special now?
Yeah.
So it always keeps us busy, entertained, and keeps people coming back. Because we're always like interesting.
Yep. Yeah. Well, if you've never been, go check out Key Mexico. Great Absolutely. Stuff. We need to shout out our sponsors before we end. So let's see. I'll go with Priority Roofing, locally owned, family and ran business specializing in residential and commercial roofing. You know Shay,
yes, of
and
course.
Hannah. Yep, great people, great business owners. It's really funny.
Great company.
And this is in the middle of the conversation, but when the pandemic initially hit, we had started the roofing company, and Shay's like, all my people in the service industry, they're not going to have jobs. And so I walk in one day to the office, and you had, I think, everybody that works at Strange Brew and a handful of people from Key Mexico sitting in there. Shay's like, all right, we're going to go sell roofs. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I think I remember. Dustin and.
Oh yeah. So funny stuff. Priority Roofing, call them 318-202-2123. Plumber for Hire, locally owned plumbing company specializing in residential commercial plumbing. No jobs too small. They get to jobs really quickly. 318-709-9090. And they also have recently acquired a jetter doing jetting services, which is in handy for commercial. Then last for me, Clint Davis Counseling. They let us use Clint lets us use his studio here, and we're thankful for that. They have 3 locations helping people make lasting internal change for external growth and success. Give them a call to book appointment, 318-562-6903.
Ivy Building Materials, locally owned since 1969, 3 locations, Mansfield, Halton, now in Blanchard. We're getting into some installed sales. So we're talking installed flooring, countertops, installed doors and windows, and we're also installing water heaters. So come by, check us out. If you have a need for something like that installed, reach out, and we'll be happy to help you.
Yep.
IvyLumber.com.
There you go. Awesome. Thanks, Rodrigo.
I appreciate it.
Yes,
it was a great time.
All right.
All right. Bye.